This is the most majestic oak tree in the world, and in today's episode, we're gonna take a closer look at it. We'll discover why it became so huge, how old it is, and we'll learn all about these mysterious oak trees that can live forever. The tree grows near my hometown in the Czech Republic, which is why I chose it for our photo shoot today. It's located in a small village called Patucky nad Desnou, which is right next to the river Desna. The tree is estimated to be around 400 years old. That's older than Shakespeare and even older than the Mayflower, which brought the first settlers to North America. The oak tree belongs to a species called Quercus robur, or the common oak. The common oak is one of the most widespread tree species in Europe and Asia. Its natural range extends from Portugal, Spain, and Italy in the west to Iran and Turkey in the east. In some parts of Europe, the common oak is considered the most important tree species because it was greatly venerated by the Celts. They believed that the oak tree was a home to the gods, and they often held religious ceremonies beneath its branches. The Druids, who were Celtic priests, wore oak wreaths as a symbol of their faith. And the oak tree is still used in modern paganism as a symbol of strength, wisdom, and immortality. Today, we're going to learn all about this ancient tree and find out why it's considered to be a symbol of immortality. In order to understand the magic of the oak tree, we need to first know a little bit more about its origin. This particular tree, just like all other living things on this planet, originated from a tiny seed. But unlike most seeds, which are produced by plants that bloom flowers, the oak tree produces its seeds in acorns. Acorns are actually unripe fruit with a hard shell inside. They only become edible once they've been properly processed, either by drying them out for several weeks or by leaching them in water to remove the bitter tannins. Once the acorns have been processed, they can be ground into flour and used to make bread or other food products. Even today, there are indigenous tribes around the world that rely on acorns as a source of food. When an acorn falls to the ground, it can remain dormant for many years until conditions are right for it to grow. When it does begin to grow, however, it grows quickly. Oak trees are known for being one of the fastest growing tree species in the world. They can grow up to 3 meters or 10 feet in height per year, which is why they're often used as shade trees in parks and gardens. By the time they reach maturity, they can grow up to 40 meters or 130 feet tall and live for hundreds, even thousands of years. In the Northern Hemisphere, oak trees typically begin their growth cycle in the spring when temperatures rise above freezing. As the days grow longer and warmer, the trees produce new leaves and buds. During the summer, the trees grow rapidly and produce acorns. In the fall, the leaves turn brown and fall to the ground. And during the winter, the trees are dormant and most of their growth activity ceases. However, in warmer climates, oak trees can grow year-round. Even though oak trees are very tough and can withstand harsh conditions, they do have their enemies. Oak trees are susceptible to a number of diseases and pests, including oak wilt, oak root fungus, and the gypsy moth. These can all cause significant damage to the tree, and in severe cases, they can even kill it. Despite these threats, oak trees are still one of the most important and widely planted tree species in the world. Now that we know a little bit more about the oak tree and its history, let's take a closer look at this particular tree. The first thing that stands out about this tree is its massive size. The tree is over 40 meters or 130 feet tall, and its trunk is over 6 meters or 20 feet in diameter. That's big enough to fit a small car inside. The tree is so large that it's impossible to get a clear view of its entire crown. Even if you were to climb to the top of the tree, you would still be unable to see the full extent of its branches. The tree is simply too big. Another thing that stands out about this tree is its age. The tree is estimated to be around 400 years old, which makes it one of the oldest living things in the region. That means that the tree was alive during the time of Shakespeare and even older than the Mayflower, which brought the first settlers to North America. The tree has seen a lot of history, and it's likely that it will continue to stand for many centuries to come. The third thing that stands out about this tree is its location. The tree grows near my hometown in the Czech Republic. It's located in a small village called Patucky nad Desnou, which is right next to the river Desna. The tree is surrounded by rolling hills and farmland, and it's not far from the German border. If you ever have the opportunity to visit the Czech Republic, I highly recommend taking a trip to see this tree. It really is a sight to behold, and it's an important part of the country's natural and cultural heritage. The last thing that I want to talk about today is the mysterious nature of the oak tree. The oak tree is considered to be a symbol of immortality for a number of reasons. First of all, the tree is able to live for hundreds or even thousands of years. That's much longer than the lifespan of most other living things. The tree is also able to produce new trees from its acorns, which ensures that the species will continue to live on long after any individual tree is gone. The oak tree is also deeply rooted in mythology and folklore, and it's often associated with wisdom, strength, and power. The Celts, who were an ancient people who lived in Europe, believed that the oak tree was a home to the gods, and they often held religious ceremonies beneath its branches. The Druids, who were Celtic priests, wore oak wreaths as a symbol of their faith. In modern paganism, the oak tree is still used as a symbol of strength, wisdom, and immortality. Now, you might be wondering why the oak tree is so special. Why should we care about this one particular tree? Well, I believe that the oak tree is a symbol of hope. No matter how tough things may seem, the oak tree is able to survive. No matter how much time passes, the oak tree is able to adapt and grow. And no matter how much damage is done to the oak tree, it's able to heal and regenerate. I believe that the oak tree teaches us that we can overcome any obstacle if we just have the strength and determination to keep going. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Tree of the Day. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And if you have a tree that you'd like to see featured on a future episode, be sure to let me know in the comments below. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Until then, take care and good